Welcome to my basement, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing great. First thing I'm going to do is just tweet out because I forgot to tell people that we were live here. So just give me 1 second. I hope you guys can hear me okay and the image looks okay. I'm going to talk about this thing. I got this freaking cool hoodie in the mail yesterday. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to tweet out that we're live. Hopefully this looks and sounds all right. I hope you're all doing great. Robert Toland, you are the first in the room. Okay, just give me 1 second here. Let's see. Okay, we are live. Yep, we're working. Okay, good. We've got a lot of stuff in the show today. I've been busy. Okay, here we go. We are live. Come and hang. Come and hang with us. Great. Awesome. Hope you're all doing great. I see Goku is here. I see Hi There is here. Anoop Tour and Dakram 13. Paul Adamson. Hey. Nintendo Boy 17. Of course, it helped that my store spread out its Black Friday events, which I still wish people didn't attend. Yes, it's kind of weird, right? The Black Friday this year is very strange. This is a PlayStation hoodie that came in the mail yesterday. They sent me a little goodie bag of some cool things. These ones I am not giving away, by the way. They're pretty darn cool. I have a Spider-Man t-shirt, which is rad, the Miles Morales t-shirt. Love that freaking game, so thank you for that, Sony. A Spider-Man hat, which if you're tooling around Vancouver and you see me outside, you may see me wear that at some point because I love that freaking game. Love Spider-Man. They sent me some little tchotchkes here. I've got a little Sackboy pin, which is super cute, and a little Sackboy monster cable chomper thing. I think my kid gets those. Some fridge magnets. You can't see it, but over just out of frame here, I have a fridge down here. So these will be going up on the magnets, or up on the fridge. I've got little Spidey magnets. They're pretty darn cool right there. Spidey merch is pretty sweet. Love it. And Sackboy magnets as well. Super cute. So those will be hanging up artwork that my kid creates for me, which I love. And they also sent me a Spider-Man Miles Morales notebook, which is cool. My kid is going to really want this, but Ruby, you can't have it. I want this one. This is too cool. They also sent me a PlayStation water bottle, which I think they're reminding me to drink more water, which I will. I absolutely will. Okay, you guys, we've got a lot of content to get to. Let's get started right now with your rundown, which today is dedicated to Robert Toland. Let's go. All right, everybody wants the PlayStation 5. It's a very hot commodity. In fact, as I was putting the show together today, I got an email or a text from a buddy saying, "Hey, man, do you know how to get a PlayStation 5?" They want to give it away as a gift, which is very kind of them. But, of course, they're very hard to get, and what we're hearing is a lot of scalpers are finding out that they can't sell their stuff. They got crates of them. They got whole stacks of them. They use bots to get all kinds of stuff, and people are aware, and this is what's really cool about this story, is that Sony has, they don't care. Sony has sold all of these machines. They could have done it better. They could have worked out some kind of pre-order thing where, people put their money down and they were guaranteed the system. But they managed to sell out everything they put into the infrastructure. They're fully sold out, but they have said that they are ramping up production. And here is the good news portion of it. There will be more PlayStation 5s in retail outlets across the world before the holiday season. So between now and, I guess, Christmas time, there are going to be more PlayStation 5s available. So you don't have to stress too much. But like I have been saying again and again since this thing has launched and since the Xbox Series X has launched. Oh, and this is the coolest thing that Sony sent me, by the way. I really like this hoodie. Check this out. This is, it's on this side. It's all backwards for me. That's my real zipper. Where's this one? Okay, right here. This unzips, and it's like the underside of the PlayStation 5 controller. You get all the icons and stuff. It's pretty cool. Not very practical or useful, but it's cool. It's cool. This pop collar thing. I feel like Dracula. doing the news. Anyways, PlayStation 5 is going to be back out there, and people are going to be able to pick it up. So that is good news. And the sooner that they, I can't get this caller down now. It's like I'm all caller. It's so weird. Hey, it's Arthur Fonzarelli. It's so strange. All right. Well, so that is definitely good news for everybody out there. More good news, especially for Series X fans out there that also love Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's got partial nudity in it there, you can see in the ESRB. This is a really beautiful, beautiful game that just runs incredibly well in next gen. But the Series X has had some performance issues, and it hasn't run at quite the quality level that it has on the PlayStation 5. I've been playing it on the Series X, and I think it looks gorgeous, but it has had some screen tearing and some other issues. Well, Ubisoft just dropped a patch, and so now it runs at full 60 frames per second, whether you play it on the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X, or the PlayStation 5. So they definitely haven't just shipped it and forgot it. Ubisoft is working on all kinds of enhancements to try to make it run as fluidly and as beautifully as the game deserves, because it's absolutely gorgeous. That is available right now if you're one of the chosen few out there that has been able to pick up a next-gen console and has been enjoying this game as much as I have. I haven't been able to go back to it because I've been jumping around playing a whole bunch of other things, but I am very much looking forward to it because I did notice the screen tearing, and of course Digital Foundry did a whole video on comparing the two versions, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And there's been a lot of discussion about how the Series X, which is on paper the most powerful console you ever created, but it's the most powerful thing you can get right now console-wise, a lot of the games haven't been quite running at the same kind of performance structure that the PlayStation 5 has. And now some reports are starting to kind of come to the forefront that the developers just didn't have as much time with the SDKs, with the software development kits, working on Series X architecture. And also Microsoft was waiting for AMD to finish some proprietary technology with their graphics processors in order to kind of come to market with something incredibly powerful. So we're going to see a lot of stuff get patched, and we're going to see a lot of the next drops for both of these machines really kind of paint a better picture of the performance capabilities of both the Xbox platform and the PlayStation 5. I have been loving playing on both, but definitely on the PlayStation 5, it's been this story. This has just been insane playing games with the DualSense. I was going to call it DualShock 5, but it is the DualSense, and it is a truly remarkable controller. Been very, very happy. These machines have launched, and like I've said about PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, they have launched. It's okay if you can't get them yet. There aren't that many exclusive titles. I think Fred Wicks wrote it down in a comment on the page, saying that the only real next-gen game out of everything on PS5 and Xbox Series X that you can't play on PS4 or Xbox One has been Demon's Souls for PS5. And it's because of all the enhancements and stuff, and they kind of made it custom for PlayStation 5. But, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony releases a PS4 version of that game in a month or so, or announces it. There is definitely some fidelity increases. I guess NBA 2K21 is a unique experience if you play it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. But a lot of the content is sort of leaning into backwards compatibility right now, and enhancements that definitely take advantage of really cool displays. Like if you've got a great 4K television and you want to see all the HDR and the ray tracing and games running at 4K at 60 frames per second, there are games that take advantage of it, but it doesn't really change the impact of the gameplay if you play some of those titles on PS4 or Xbox One. So again, I say don't stress too much if you haven't got your hands on next gen just yet. The best is yet to come. And the other thing that I've been thinking about quite a bit too is that a lot of games have the performance choice or the fidelity choice, and I feel like next gen, when it's really running on all cylinders, should be you don't have that choice. You have fidelity running at high performance. Why can't we get 120 frames per second in 4K on PS5 or Xbox Series X? I mean, they're whispering about 8K, and I think I would much prefer to have a rock solid 4K at 60 on everything across the board. I want all of the the reflections in the puddles in Miles Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the reflections off the buildings in 60 frames per second. We currently do not have that. You have to knock it down to 30 frames per second in order to have it. And I got to tell you, I've been playing a lot of this stuff at 60. And there's just no going back. It feels really weird to play games at 30 frames per second already, and that's been a little bit of my hesitation with Watch Dogs, which I love, but I know that, there's in the back of their minds, they're working, or in the in the patch department at Ubisoft, I'm sure they're working on a 60 frames per second patch on Watch Dogs. And I think I will prefer checking the game out when it gets to that. So we'll see. Brand new early days. Certainly the machines came in hot. This was a terrible year to kind of, in many ways, but a terrible year to kind of have developers catch up and work from home and put all of this stuff together. But they did. They got them out there, and they are crazy fun. But I am really looking forward to seeing the gap widen, the experiential gap widen, and the stuff that we are playing on these things just be insane. And speaking of things that we really hoped would have come out around this time, Halo Infinite, the folks at 343 are starting to chatter a little bit. They're starting to talk a little bit about it. Halo Infinite is expected next year, and we all know that this was a disappointing reveal when this was revealed a little bit earlier on this year, but 343 is sort of coming out of, not hibernation, but kind of coming out of this self-reflection period where they underwhelmed. There's no other way to express this. When this trailer launched, it was like, oh, okay, well, when does the next gen start? It was cool, and I think it sort of evokes the idea of the gameplay of Halo past for sure, Halo's past for sure, which is, I think, something that Halo fanatics have been asking for a long time, but it doesn't really, exemplify the increase in fidelity that we're all hoping for. And so now the 343 folks are starting to sort of pipe up a little bit. And what I really hope to hear from Microsoft is that they are going to abandon the idea of making the game something that you can play on a launch Xbox One. Like, what I really hope is the bare minimum to be able to play this thing, the bare minimum spec to be able to play this thing, although I don't know if they would ever do that, is to go back to like Xbox One X and say you at least need that in order to play this. And really what I think we all want, everybody that's watching this right now, is for it to just blow our minds as a 4K, 60 frames per second locked, just staggeringly beautiful single-player campaign experience, and at least that as well when we play in multi. And then we also want variable frame rate and 120 frames per second if our TVs are capable of that. But then, of course, they'll probably have to knock that down to 1080p. So they are working on it. It should have been out now. It's unfortunate that it isn't. It's unfortunate that the Xbox Series X doesn't have its Demon Souls, which it could have been a remake of something, but remade for this next generation. There isn't really a game that you can point to and go, oh, you can only experience it over there. And I think that's hurting it a little bit right now, But hopefully that will soon come to pass, and we'll have not only machines out in the marketplace, but software that really just shows us what we're in for. Vic, you're distracting me from my job. Thank you. That's a noob tour. You're very welcome. North American YouTuber. LOL. Great for Netflix, I guess. Look. The machines are amazing, and I have been having a blast playing games on both. And I don't. It's way too early to call the versus race. It's just that PlayStation came out a little bit flashier. There's no question about it. This thing and Demon Souls and having Astro's Playroom right on the hard drive, all terrific moves from PlayStation. And it's not just because they sent me this killer hoodie. Man, I look like I'm just shilling out right now. But, it's a nice little Christmas gift that they sent me, and I appreciate it. It's really nice. But Xbox, and honestly, I think I've said this before, but I had 2 weeks with Series X before the PlayStation 5 launched, or before it got to me, and I was like, how the hell is PlayStation going to beat this? This is so sleek. It's so cool. And for the first day or so, I was like, I don't know. I think I prefer kind of playing stuff on the Xbox Series X. It's just really nice. And then a day later, I was like, oh my God, this thing just is ridiculous. I don't want to put this down. It's so much fun to play with the DualShock, and I got hooked on Spidey and hooked on Astro. But early days, it's really hard to get either machine, and both machines still have a lot to prove. Let's be frank. Let's be honest. But I am having fun. I'd sell up for that hoodie. No judgment. Anoop Tour. Oh, you guys are awesome. Drybone Jones. Okay, we have a lot to get to, including taking a look at the latest episode of The Mandalorian. But first, it's time for This Day in Everything Cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for November 27th. On this day in 1988, Sega did a beastly job of altering one of their biggest games. The side-scrolling beat-em-up Altered Beast was released on the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive in Japan. The game actually debuted in arcades a few months earlier, where it was a modest success. 1 or 2 players could take control of centurions in ancient Greece and then punch and kick their way through hordes of enemies with the ability to collect power-ups that turn you into a werewolf or Altered Beast. Sega hoped that porting the arcade version to the Genesis with almost no drop in quality would show off the power of the new system, which had only been released a month earlier. Unfortunately, the Genesis version wasn't very well received. Although it certainly looked and sounded like the arcade version, many felt that the controls just weren't as responsive. The gameplay also suffered with too much repetition in the moves and enemy variety, which is fine for short bursts in an arcade, but becomes more apparent when you play for longer stretches at home. Despite poor reviews, the Genesis version sold well in Japan, and Sega even bundled it as a pack-in game with the Genesis when the console launched in North America a year later. Altered Beast wasn't Sega's last attempt at a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Many of the developers behind the game went on to create a spiritual successor, Golden Axe, which was released in 1989. This time around, they created a lot more variety with more characters, power-ups, and abilities, and the game was a much bigger success. Oh, Altered Beast. Love that game. It did get tedious after a while, but I remember getting it for the was that Altered Beast or was that I see Altered Beast in the comments, but that looked like Golden Axe. It was Golden Axe. Golden Axe better than Altered Beast. But some classic games right there. Love the Jenny. It was a pretty magical time in my life. I don't know if you guys were playing games, as brand new experiences back then, but I was, and it felt just incredible. Just felt like just some weird, mysterious object from crazy wizards that we were able to play on a regular basis. Always shocked and surprised. Drybones Jones just says, Splatterhouse. Okay. People talking about Jenny games. The Genesis was such an awesome platform. I appreciate it more even today than I did back then, especially after the Analog Mega SG came out and I did some back and forths on the Super Nintendo stuff that I have and the Genesis stuff. It's really phenomenal. I just watched an awesome video that our buds at GameSack put together where they did a head-to-head of Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and you need to watch that. If you're into the retro stuff at all, like I am, it's a lot of fun. That GameSack always does an incredible job with that stuff. Okay, it is time to talk a little bit about The Mandalorian. Chapter 13 dropped today. It was directed by the one and only, the incredible gift to us all Star Wars fans, Dave Filoni, who absolutely killed it. This was... I'm going to spoil a little bit. So if you haven't seen it yet, just dropped today, I think early this morning. I saw people stayed up till way late in the evening last night to watch it. So that was your spoiler warning. We got to meet Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosaria Dawson, and she was phenomenal. That's Michael Biehn. He's also one of the stars in the show, and it was incredible to recognize him. Clearly, this is going to be, kind of the love boat for Star Wars geeks, of which there are millions of, and so we're going to start to see all kinds of incredible cameos from actors of every sort of stripe, every kind of pedigree out there. But to see a Terminator vet like Michael Biehn show up in the latest episode of Mando, I was vibrating and just freaking out and holding my kid's hand because she's addicted to the show now. And we had an incredible time with this episode. First of all, Ahsoka Tano has not lost a step. She's an amazing Jedi, and you just see her slicing through all these Imperial scum, through this very... samurai movie kind of landscape that we get, this deserted, dilapidated, destroyed forest, and it's all super gray and dark and moody. It reminded me a little bit of playing through the Akira Kurosawa mode of Ghost of Tsushima, where all the color is stripped out, and all you see is the white light of Ahsoka Tano's lightsaber. She dual wields, and you just know that those are going to be available at Galaxy's Edge very soon, probably in Disneyland. But the lightsaber battles and the lightsaber duel stuff was just phenomenal. Mando drops into this planet. He knows where she is. He's trying to offload Baby Yoda, and we get to know Baby Yoda's name. So I'm spoiling a hell of a lot out there. I think it's Gorgu. I think that's correct. I haven't quite nailed it to memory just yet, but I think his name is Gorgu. And so Mando's trying to get Ahsoka Tano to not only take his little buddy, but to train him, because he is clearly a force wielder. He's got power, and Mando hasn't heard any of this stuff because, of course, the Mandalorians and the Jedi have been at war, and they've fought each other for a millennia, and so they become a sort of a weird alliance, Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian, as they fight back this oppressive force inside of this village, which looks very much like a samurai village. It's all devoid of color. We see some people getting tortured up on stakes, a little bit like they've been crucified, and it's just dripping with style. It's just so sleek, and it's definitely influenced, I think, by Kurosawa movies, which the Star Wars films also were. And you could just see the lineage and the pedigree that Filoni, and the love and the respect that Filoni has for what Lucas crafted. I've said this time and again, but he is the greatest gift to this franchise since Lucas envisioned it. He is the great apprentice. He really just took the reins, and he is building something of permanence and of value. And this is the way. He's showing people how to handle Star Wars. And I have to say, it's going to be very difficult to go back to big movies after this. I almost feel like this is the way, is just keep making, 30 to hour-long vignettes, these stories that are self-contained but also threaded and connected to the larger universe as an ongoing episodic retreat, and we are going to be in heaven. The other side of it is to think of what Kevin Feige did with the MCU, and to think, is there 20 movies in 10 years? Is there an equivalency there that, Favreau and Filoni and a group of other filmmakers, do we want them to do that? Do we want them to go out and get a couple $100 million and we get a new Star Wars film every 6 months? They were up to like 3 a year, right, with MCU. And I don't know if we want that out of Star Wars. I feel like the better play, especially if Disney Plus becomes as integral to Disney's bottom line as it's proving out to be this year, I think it's just to keep building up this episodic content, tie it to the animated work that Filoni's been a part of, and hopefully he has got an apprentice that's going to take the reins on some awesome animated Star Wars going forward. But what The Mandalorian really showcases, and this is a highlight episode. I think it's sort of up there with the first episode this season as the best of this current season. It really highlights that there are interesting stories in every corner and interesting characters that deserve real attention and real moments, and they should have weight and significance. And we should also be able to leave them and know that we'll be able to get back to them down the road, like the goodbyes that get made so far in The Mandalorian make sense when those reconnections are made, as opposed to trying to fit moments on screen for 9 different leads, and which worked the first movie, the first trilogy, less so in the second trilogy, and then got really machined and felt bumpy and not quite as successful as it should have been with the third trilogy, because there's too much weight and expectation. But I think they have breathing room with these episodic mini movies that they have with The Mandalorian. So needless to say, it was incredible. And of course, Mando has to face off against the leader of this Imperial force that has taken over the village, which culminates in an amazing battle between Ahsoka Tano and this lady. I forget what this lady's name is, but she throws an allusion to someone from canon, or someone that may have been out of canon but is now, back in canon. Michael Biehn, I just can't believe it. And I'm not going to spoil that, but it was a tour de force, absolutely incredible. And I'm sorry if I spoiled the experience for you. If I did, then you better not be on Twitter, Facebook, or anything else for the next little while, because when I was getting up this morning and I looked at my phone, it was like, spoiler, 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 spoiler. Everybody was talking about it. This is a consequential episode. A lot of answers and a lot of, expectations realized. Beautifully so. Rosario Dawson is awesome as Ahsoka Tano. This little baby Yoda character is really taking on some excellent little subtleties. You can feel the connection to Yoda. Yoda is discussed. The echoes of the Star Wars themes are in here. Oh, God, it just hit me, man. It was just amazing. Such an incredible episode. And Anoop Tour says the EP website is looking old. Yeah, okay, I'll just stop the stream and get working on the EP website right now. There's only so many things I can take care of at once, my friend. But yes, I would like to update everything. Thank you, Anoop Tour. Rosario Dawson in general is amazing. Do I have a subreddit? I don't know. North American YouTuber. I haven't set up a subreddit. I'm not sure. Oh, Anoop Tour will do it. He's doing a pitch in the live chat. Okay, that's awesome. Yes, you can unmute. Yes, you can, Clayton Blair. So that's it. The Mandalorian remains amazing. Okay, end of spoilery chat. Just amazing. Oh, you made it before. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Anoop. Awesome. Are you part of G4 TV's return? I keep getting asked this, and I guess I'm going to have to make a statement at some point about it. I don't have a statement yet, and who knows? Who knows what happens? Metagamers, Vic, what do you know about Cold War and Series X crashes, hardware or software driven? I honestly don't know. I haven't heard that, but I am not surprised that there are hardware and software issues right now. Everything came in hot, so it doesn't surprise me. Vic has the best damned YouTube videos. No Reddit needed. Oh, Marco Way, you rock, man. Oh yeah, Anoop Tour. r/Electric Playground. We have exactly one member. Okay, everybody, you got to join up our subreddit. You got to join into that, and I'll try to make it over there. As well as Discord. Ooh, there are talks behind the scenes that mean. Sorry to add the noise, Vic. Add to the noise, Vic. Oh, no, that's what we're here for. It's to talk about this stuff. There is a Discord. Yes, there is, Anoop. Let's see. Rosario Dawson in general is amazing. I've got some catching up to do. Just watched it. Great episode. Revenge of Shinobi, you guys are going off on all the Genesis games. Wilson, fantastic. Mr. Brock Rock, one of the few games I had outside of Sonic on the Genesis. Awesome. And Robert Tolan, never a Golden Axe fan. Okay, interesting. That's a crazy confession to make. Vic, have you ever watched the 2003 version of Star Wars Clone Wars from Getty Tartovsky? It was basically Samurai Jack meets Dragon Ball Z with a Star Wars skin. That's from Nintendo Boy 17. I did watch that. I loved it. I love the designs that Getty did because, they basically were the blueprint. They were like the Ralph McQuarrie designs of what the CG animated Clone Wars became. And I had it on DVD, and I lost it. I don't know where it is. I was looking for it. It's gone. I can't find it. I think I have the case, but I don't have the disc. But that was all fantastic. And I love what Filoni did. I think, was Filoni involved also in the Getty one as well? But I love what Filoni did with the CG show. Just absolutely outstanding. If you haven't watched those episodes on Disney Plus, you got to correct that. It's amazing. Everybody join the Discord. I don't have I should just put it into the description, into the descriptions. Got to do it. There are talks behind the scenes. That means there are always talks. Always talks. XGR. Always. Okay. I want to get into a couple. Okay, I'll do this again because I want to cut it out as a separate thing. All right, you guys, it's time to talk about another holiday gift guide. This one is going to be for all of you PC gamers out there. And the one thing that I want to kind of, start with is the fact that most of the best games that you can play on the consoles in 2020 or previous, you can play on the PC. The PC really can be the best of all worlds. And so there is tons and tons of great stuff out there. And I wanted to pick some PC games for this kind of top 5 for 2020 that were like truly PC experiences, at least for now, because the other thing is, of course, if it's hot on the PC, eventually it comes to the consoles too. But let's get started with 5 ideas for PC gamers out there. All right, coming in at number 5 is Desperados 3. This is a very interesting strategy experience. You get to play as some roguish cowboys, and the idea is like you have to use your wits. You have to stealth into situations. You have to use the right characters at the right time. It's all sort of, an overhead perspective like this, but there's so much style and so much elegance in the design. There's some really good writing, and it's just really well crafted. A really nice surprise, Desperados 3, and it's absolutely wonderful. I also think the same about Gears Tactics, which I talked about as an Xbox game, because now you can play it on the Xbox Series X. I think all the Xboxes at this point. It's a great tactical strategy game as well. Overhead kind of conflict and stuff, but great cut sequences. It's about flanking and about using the cover strategy and supporting each other and chaining some of the attacks together. A lot of fun, whether you play it on the console or the PC. Desperados is on the consoles as well. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I believe, is going to be coming to consoles down the road, but right now you can only play it on the PC, and it is staggeringly beautiful. I haven't spent a whole bunch of time in it. What Microsoft has been able to do is essentially map the world, and you get to fly wherever the hell you want. Now, it's all in real time. It's all like fully, one-to-one realization of, flying around the world. So it can take you hours to get anywhere, but it's so beautiful. I also wanted to give a special shout out to Sony because they have entered the fray with some PC software. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition is an amazing remake or remaster of what was available for PlayStation 4 Pro, and now you can play it backwards compatible on PlayStation 5 as well. Some great enhancements like unlocked frame rate, and the foliage is cooler, and they've got ultra wide mode and stuff, and a lot of the same kinds of benefits also for Death Stranding on the PC, which was published by 505, and it was part of the development deal before the game got made. Now, I've got a love-hate relationship with Death Stranding, but I got to tell you something, playing it again on the PC, it started to lean more in the love direction again. It just ran beautifully. It has DLSS technology in it too, so you can run it in a sort of AI-driven hyper resolution. Beautiful game. And also, what I think is incredibly valuable for PC players out there is Xbox Game Pass for PC. Just like the Xbox version of this, all of the Microsoft first-party games that work on Xbox platforms are also mostly available on PC, so you get that, and then you get a whole collection of all kinds of other goodies in there. So the amount of play for your monthly charge is kind of infinite. You will be able to play forever and ever and ever. And with the PC, of course, you are mad tinkerers, so you can make everything look as beautiful as you can possibly afford, I guess. So Xbox Game Pass is definitely one that I would think as a great pickup for PC players out there. But then I think what I also want to do is encourage you to take a look at the PlayStation 5 gift guide that I put together, and also the Xbox gift guide that I put together. I think there's also some ideas in the Nintendo Switch gift guide that I put together, particularly the indie titles that are out there. PC really is an amazing repository. The gaming is endless on PC. So congratulations, PC players out there. You're going to have a great holiday. Okay, and I'll do the same kind of thing here, and I'm going to talk about VR for a second. Dang, I forgot Horizon came to PC. Yeah, so many great titles out there. All right. Let's talk about VR in 2020. I put together a fun little holiday gift guide for you. This was a great year for VR, and I've got 5 ideas for any VR enthusiasts out there. Now, the thing that I want you to recognize is that this is for PC VR platforms like the Oculus Rift S, or you can link cable an Oculus Quest 2 or Quest 1, but you can also pop in an HTC Vive. But I've also included a PlayStation VR game, which my hope is that we move to a world where exclusivity in VR really gets erased and you're able to play any VR experience that's crafted for anything on any headset out there. But lots of good stuff to talk about. Let's get started with 5 great VR picks for the year. At number 5, I've got The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, which there is an Oculus Rift version of the game, but of course you can play it on Steam through Steam VR as well, which is a little bit higher fidelity. But what's really cool about this is they also made a version specifically for the Quest platforms, and it looks amazing on the Oculus Quest 2. Awesome, atmosphere. It's incredibly creepy, and I was really spooked when I played that game. Beautiful experience. Pistol Whip remains in my top 5 of 2020. They've got a brand new story campaign called 2089, and as you can see, it's very Blade Runner influenced. You've got robots, you've got amazing music. That's the wonderful thing about Pistol Whip is it's all rhythm based, but it's like John Wick plays Beat Saber. It's such a fabulous experience, and this 2089 update is unbelievable. At number 3, I've got Iron Man VR, Marvel's Iron Man VR, which came out exclusively for the PlayStation VR platform this year. It came out with long load times, and it came out with having to deal with the Move controllers, which are quite dated by this point. But the core gameplay of Iron Man VR is so fun. Flying around as Iron Man and using all of the weaponry that Iron Man has is a blast, and I really hope it comes to the other VR platforms. Number 2 is Half-Life Alyx. This was an extraordinary technical achievement, incredibly creepy, incredibly polished. This was Valve kind of showing off what VR is capable of with their most beloved franchise. It was a wonderful, scary, beautiful experience, and you really shouldn't miss this game if you've got a VR platform that can run it. It looks great even on Oculus Quest 2, as a matter of fact. Now, my number 1 choice, you can probably guess, it's Star Wars Squadrons, which you can play on PSVR, but also on PC VR, so you can play it on Quest or Vive. I've tethered my Oculus Quest 2, and played this through the headset, and it is awesome, but it's smoother on PlayStation VR because, EA kind of and Motive really kind of smoothed it out and made it work really well on PlayStation VR. But the resolution took a hit because it's slightly dated technology. Just an amazing immersion. It's just so much fun. And honestly, to play through the story campaign and to do all of the missions and single player in VR was just phenomenal. It was one of the best gaming experiences I had this year, and I absolutely recommend it as my number 1 pick for VR. And it's interesting, I've been saying for years that a couple of the things that VR developers should take advantage of is the awareness that everybody has of Marvel products out there and properties and Star Wars properties. They just work really well when you kind of transition and think about them as VR entertainment. And there's been some, nifty ideas and sort of demo kind of content before, but we had full games with Iron Man and Star Wars Squadrons in VR, and boy, did they capitalize on the technology in some amazing ways. And I hope my hope is that both of those games brought a lot of people to the format because it's still relatively early days for how we're going to experience VR, but those games really highlight how fun it can be. And VR needs the love, it needs the support. And it's not a cheap investment, but there is certainly a lot of great entertainment out there. So there you go, 5 ideas for the VR video gaming enthusiast out there. Happy holidays. All right. XGR, your gift guide showcased the best in gaming lately. You deserve much more than this, but I hope this helps. XGR, you are so kind. Thank you so much. That is awesome. it does help. All of this helps. You guys being here helps. I'm one man banding it, so I don't really have like a scheduling team and a social media team or any of that stuff. So I'm really grateful. You guys are the first ones in, man. You guys are incredible that you are here to support this and you talk it up and you tell people about it. And I've been gaining new subscribers and new members and the super chats. All of it has just been really, really cool. And this has all been a grand experiment. I was like, how the hell am I going to deal with all of this content coming in at the same time alone? There's no way I'm going to be able to edit all of these videos. So doing all of this stuff live has been a really fun challenge because you have been here cheering me on, and I'm grateful. Listen, we have I just want to double check that I can stream what I'm about to stream. I know we can. I know we can stream this, but I just don't want to stream something I can't stream yet. I'm going to talk about more Immortals Fenix Rising. I don't know if I have to start over or what. So just I'll open it up, and I'm just going to check my email. 1 second here. It's you guys have lots of video of me looking at my phone live on the stream. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I just got to look back at the embargo notes that I have. 1 second here. I think I can stream it. I mean, I know I can stream it, but I think I can just go for it. I think I can just do it. Early access as long as the content abides by our... Okay, so I got to look at the... Okay, 1 second. Moment, please. I got to read this. I got to make sure I don't get anybody in trouble. Me. See, I've been too busy today. I couldn't read this before we started going live here. Okay, 1 second here. If anyone could get away with it, it's Vic. Well, I get those phone calls every once in a while. It hasn't happened much. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've probably had like 4 phone calls in that time where like, you shouldn't have run that. Do you mind taking that down, or is there a way to retract that? So that's pretty good. And they know it's never on purpose. I never try to do that. Let's see here. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not into this, leaking stuff before it's ready. I think that really does a disservice for the developers who are trying to, kind of target specific dates, but also for the players too, right? Like nobody wants to have their experience spoiled like that. Oh my God! Why didn't they just send me the thing in one? What is this? No, I don't want that. Okay. Where is it? Ah, okay. Got it. 1 sec. 1 sec. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like 50 pages. Come on. With pictures and just tell me what I can show. Okay. Come on now. Oh, they're telling me about the achievements and all the other stuff. Come on, I just want to play the game. Oh, boy. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. I got it. I got the page in the 50 page. Oh, man, I just clicked on something. Okay. I can't read that. Oh, I'm going to talk with these guys about this information. This should just be in the body of the email. It shouldn't be a separate thing. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay. We're just going to cruise around. We're not going to spoil too much. I've gained 12 viewers. Awesome. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump in and play a little Immortals Fenix Rising. Playing it on the PlayStation 5. Let us go. I'm reading the capture guidelines, Mr. Mass Produce. You know what? I'm just going to... Oh, but I can't show some of that. Okay. I'm only 2 hours in. They did a whole demo, right? I'm just gonna do it. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go from where I'm saved, and I'm just going to. This was a promotional item. This came yesterday. Craig M1R3. I wanted to show it off on the stream today. It's very kind of PlayStation to hook me up. They sent an awesome Spider-Man hat as well, and a couple of other really cool things. It comes out soon. Immortals does, and Paul Adamson. So I just don't want to. I don't want to spoil too much stuff, but you can see it's very Legend of Zelda like. Very Breath of the Wild like. I'm going to avoid going into the menus if I can. And I don't think I'm supposed to show some specific cut sequences, so I'm going to avoid that. But we can traipse around. A lot of this stuff you've seen in the trailer, like the abilities and things like that, but we'll see it all here in real time, and we'll play it. Oh, let me turn the audio on. I was going to just do, just in case I'm not allowed to show the menus, I'm just going to pop this on. I'm going to talk with Yubi and say, please just make it an explicit, easy thing to see in an email. Don't make us download something. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so I turned the music off just in case. I don't think there's any licensed stuff, but just in case. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to heal up a bit. I'm going to eat a pomegranate. And I've got different attacks which are pulled off by the trigger buttons. Oh, you guys can't see me. Can't see the game. This is me playing the game. I've got trigger attacks that you very Demon Souls-like. This is the R2 button. R2 button, pulling off the axe attack, and the R1 button, a faster sword attack. I've got these, I think they're Icarus wings. It's all based on Greek mythology. So if I double tap, I can leap up a little bit. And I've been augmenting some of my stuff as I go along, finding some new armor and embellishments. And I've also got a bow and arrow as well. And I have this cool arrow shot where I can control it and hit the baddies with it. How's that sound? Does that sound okay? This comes out December 6th, I believe, and it's on every machine. So it's also on the Switch, which is interesting because it's clearly inspired or influenced by what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild. And I have to be honest, when I did my first playthrough, I couldn't not think of Breath of the Wild. I got to check it out earlier this summer. and I just couldn't connect with it, even though I really liked the controls and the way that the mechanics of it and the puzzles and things. I was like, wow, this is really cool, but I didn't have an emotional connection to it because all I could see was, wow, this feels a lot like Breath of the Wild. But, you know, now I've started from the very beginning, and I've got the storytelling in there. Elias Toufexis, who I think is just awesome. He's a friend of mine and a friend of EP's. He's one of the narrators in here, and his stuff is just amazing. He puts on this this really kind of hammy Greek accent, which I just love. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to... I think I can do it, actually. I'm going to show you I think I can show this off. Okay, so I've got a new axe. There we go. New axe. Great. So I can jump into the menu. So it's really fluid. This is running in performance mode, I believe. 60 frames per second. I think it is, right? Yeah. I'll just double check that. 1 second. Yeah. Again, you know, another one where you can choose quality and performance. Because everything is, you know... Oh, can I mount one of these creatures? That's awesome. Yeah, it's very Zelda-like. Because everything is kind of stylized and cartoony. That's so cool. And Nemone. So how do I can... Oh, that's awesome. So this is all new. Like, I've only put in a couple of hours, so I'm still playing this for review. Oh, thanks, man. I've been getting a lot of compliments on the hoodie today, Jonathan McFowle. I'll let the PlayStation folks know that they created a winner with this. So these are the challenge vaults that I can jump into. I don't know if I can attack. Can I attack? No. Oh, that's weird. My gear just disappeared. So yeah, I've been getting into it a little bit more, obviously, starting it from scratch. But because everything is stylized, I checked it out in high quality mode, and it looked good, but it was 30 frames per second, and it's like, well, I'm just going to drop to 1080p and play it at 60 frames per second, and it's much better. Yes, it is definitely a Breath of the Wild love letter. So this is kind of like the different challenge rooms that you would go into in Breath of the Wild. The what do they call those again? The tombs or the crypts that you would go into. Same kind of thing here. So you have some magical abilities, like I have this telekinesis kind of thing where I can... What's this? And then this. I can lift it up. But there's wind happening. Oh, I turned the wind on, didn't I? Okay. So turn the wind off. Oh, I created the thing again. Okay, so it's going to go over this way. Yes, okay. So I've got to solve this, and it's likely an arrow. I haven't been in here, so you guys are going to watch me try to figure stuff out and fall to my death. In real time. Here we go. Canon, is that Star Wars lingo for Canada? Sure. Okay, here we go. Now I can hear the game. Shrines. Thank you, Ethan Jory. And XGR. Okay, so if I activate... So I'm trying to get it over to this thing, but I've got a... Oh, I see. Okay, right over here. Experienced. You can have the money. I would have probably paid the theaters at some point this year. Oh, dude. If you're a dude, I don't mean to presume. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's one thing I really miss about pre-pandemic times. We were working with Cineplex, and we'd started with Nintendo, but I was hoping to work with some other companies on EP segments that would run just before the movies would start. And it was so surreal to go to a movie. I went with my kid to see one. And there I am on the giant screen talking about, you know, ARMS, I think was one of the first ones that we did, and Pokemon and stuff. And my kid at one of those screenings was like, "That's my daddy!" And it was embarrassing, but freaking awesome. It was really cool. So thank you so much. Vic, I have a way to show the Discord invite link for a Noob Tour to join in. Just thought I'd ask for... Yes, please bring the link into the chat, Adrian Leon. I definitely would appreciate that. And yeah, if anybody's got access to links to cool things that are EP related, help a brother out, man. You know, I can't get to everything. That's been the that has been the lesson I have learned in 2020. I personally cannot get to everything. So I appreciate the help and always the support. Okay, so now I've got to get over here. So that was a relatively easy one. So now I'm flying. Oh yes, I can float. And how do I float again? Like this. Okay. So I just learned this glide maneuver before I turned the PlayStation 5 into rest mode last night. I have been going into rest mode, and there hasn't been any problems, by the way, which I'm super glad about because no one wants that stress with a brand new machine. Rayman! Anyone figure out how to get those Call of Duty crashes on Xbox Series X? I played it for a little bit on Xbox Series X, and it looked great. But I didn't play it enough that I got any crashes. I finished the game on PlayStation 5 and streamed a bunch, actually. It's all buried on the channel. It sucks that people are finding crashes with any of these machines right now, and I hope that all gets solved. Okay. I know it will. Man, imagine the stress with the hardware company, like the people that have shipped all of this stuff, and then also all the devs that have built games to launch with the machine. Because everything's connected, right? Everything is always online. All those analytics and all that data is always coming back. And so people are on the other end of that data, like combing through it, going, oh my God, look at these bugs. Look at these things that happened. Somebody did this and it affected that. And I can't imagine, like, the pressure, right? Like, nobody wants a story like the Xbox Series X is crashing Call of Duty to be a story. Nobody wants that to get out there. It's just bad for everybody. But, of course, things are going to happen when this stuff is brand new. Okay, so I need to get one of these things. There's got to be some rock thing that oh, maybe if I bash these? No? Oh, I see. Maybe I leap across. No, there's no rock thingy over there. So these are pretty cool puzzles. They've been super easy so far. Okay, so this thing, I can't lift it, so I need to... Okay, there we go. That comes across. Boom, and then I gotta... Oh, sweet. Okay, it's like a Crash Bandicoot puzzle. Okay, and then this is the doors. Groovin'. Gotcha. Great. This is pretty straightforward. So that's going to go into there. Nobody wants a repeat of that red ring of death. Yes, cheers to that. Yes. You know what's hilarious? Any longtime EP fans out there would know this, but of course we were covering the Xbox 360, you know, top to bottom when that machine launched. And Xbox sent out tons of B-roll footage of the console getting made, and they have production line footage of the 360 on the on all of the, I guess, the belts where people were putting them together in Asia. And then they had a shot of like dozens of 360s on shelving, and all of them are red ringing. And we don't know if that was like they were having problems with them, but it was our go-to B-roll shot every time we talked about the red ring of death in EP and EP Daily. It was like we had this shot of 1 million Xbox 360s red ringing, and it was, you know, not a happy thing to happen to anybody, particularly Microsoft. I think they wrote off like $1 billion because of that. But they learned some big lessons. Crazy. You think Valhalla will go on sale for Boxing Day? Yes. Watch the skies. There are some... maybe some of you guys know exactly, like Wario 64 is famous for States, for the U.S. I forget the other guy's name, but in the States, if you watch Wario64 on Twitter, he is always, or she always, linking to deals on specific retailers, and when things go on sale and stuff, there's like a stream of all that stuff. And we have a person that does that in Canada as well, and they're watching all the Canadian retailers and stuff, which is really cool. So you want to follow those people on Twitter and sort of stay tuned on that because, you know, stuff comes up for pre-order or it's available. I saw that the Game & Watch Mario was available on Amazon today because of, I wish I remembered the guy's name, but I saw him pop up on Twitter with it, and it was like, boom. You know, I'm sure many people clicked on that link and went right to it. So you want to follow the gaming deal Twitter folks out there. And then there's also Cheap Ass Gamer, which I need to get onto a podcast at one point because he's I forget his name. I know him as Cheap Ass Gamer, but he's built a huge career, like pointing people in the direction of saving money in games. But that is the absolute truth of video games. If you wait a bit, you're going to get a good deal, and more stuff will be included, and it will be patched. But sometimes that allure of being able to play things on opening and launch weekends is just, I mean, I know, I feel it. I've got that I started a TV show because I love that stuff. But I totally get it. Rayman K is a new member. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Love your games, Rayman K. Okay, here we go. Not as bad, Colin McDonald. What's happened now is, of course, the e-tail industry is supplanting brick and mortar. So the scalpers are very sophisticated, and they shift from product to product. It's not just like they focus exclusively on the consoles. They look at, you know, the sneaker markets. I was talking to one of my friends at CNN who said that they followed a story where the jacuzzis became a super popular thing during this time of COVID, and so these scalpers, these bot guys, these scumbags, figured out a way to, you know, create a bot to buy up the inventory, and then they were flipping things on eBay. But of course, what's happened now is everybody knows that Sony and Xbox are just ramping up production, and so no one's paying, you know, unless they have money to burn, nobody's paying 2 or 3 times the price that a Series X or a PlayStation 5 costs. Oh my gosh, where do I go? And so scalpers are sitting with, oh, that's so cool. So scalpers are sitting with these things, and they're not selling, which is great. So if you can have the patience, please don't buy from scalpers. Don't encourage that kind of activity. And you know, I have a feeling that this will be the last console cycle where this kind of crap continues. You know, like the hate and the heat that PlayStation and Nvidia and Xbox have heard because of the actions of some really greedy jerks. Okay, there's one of the things in there. Ooh, that's tricky. Okay, and so the other one's over there. And Jean-Luc Pisson is a new member. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Criminalize scalping both in entertainment and in needs, food, soap. Yeah, remember at the beginning of COVID where people were snatching up all kinds of disinfectant wipes and toilet paper and stuff and hoarding all that stuff and then trying to get a profit on it? Yeah, it's gross, man. And it's like capitalism run rampant, you know? Like I believe in a free market and capitalism, but we shouldn't. If anything, this year has taught us is we're all in this frickin' planet together. We're all in it together. Doesn't matter what part of the earth you're in. And hello to everybody that's based in a different territory than North America. It's awesome that you're here. So we're all in it together. And if you just let the markets run wild and people are taking advantage of each other, that doesn't serve anyone. You know, like we need to kind of relook at the way that we have let the whole capitalist structure run our realities out there. Yeah, there's just so many people that are, like, look at all these folks that are, frontline workers working in danger because they don't have the PPE or the protection, or or they're losing their jobs. and they need it more than anybody, and they have no income to pay their bills. And you know, this has been a year of awful, incredibly tough lessons. But I think at the bottom of it is we need to take better care of all of us, the whole world. We all need to. And hopefully that becomes truth. Did I just screw things up? Okay, just this one. Okay. Yeah, the planet is incredibly fragile. You know what really hit it for me with the pandemic and how serious it really was? I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the summertime there was a tsunami warning in Alaska that happened at around midnight on a, I don't know, Thursday or something like that. And there was potential. It was potentially going to hit the coast of British Columbia, because we're always worried. I'm in Vancouver, BC, and so there's always this concern that a big earthquake is coming. You know, they make movies about that kind of thing. And so the news of this tsunami hitting Alaska kind of started to go all over Twitter, and I was like, oh my God. So I was following tweets and looking at news reports and stuff, and then I saw some video footage of this tiny little town in the outskirts of the western side of Alaska, and all of the people were rushing to get to higher ground, but a lot of them had turned back and then left again after they'd grabbed their masks. And I just thought to myself that all of these people in Alaska in these tiny little villages where like nobody lives, they were worried about getting the pandemic and getting the COVID. And they were taking care of themselves and masking up as they ran for higher ground to get away from potential tsunami waves. And it was like, this thing is everywhere. All of us are, you know, susceptible to this. Okay, what am I trying to do? Oh, I screwed up. Sorry, guys, I'm not thinking. Okay, so that is open. Okay, good, good. What does this do? Okay, good. I see. Okay, so I've got one of the... Alright, that opens it up. Open it up. Okay, get down there. And then get down and then stop it. Oh, okay, so that's in the right place. Now this thing is stuck up there. That ball is stuck. Now, do I have to start it again? I guess I have to relaunch it, so I think this activates it again. Okay. All right, so open that up. Oh, open that up. Okay, that's spinning around. I can't quite see where that thing is going. Okay, open that up. Go through there. I see. Okay. Oh, come on. It's got to make it all the way over there. I get it. Okay. Okay, open the door. There we go. Okay, great. Did it! Oh, come on. Get over there! Come on! Oh, do I have to jump across? Maybe I do. Get in there! Oh, my lord, okay. Whew! Okay, now what? Okay. So that's where I gotta go. I gotta go at Zeus's lightning over there. Here we go. Here we go. North American YouTuber's been watching this show since he was a kid. This show? Me? You rock, North American YouTuber. Victor and Tommy are the godfathers of gaming journalism. Amazing. That's amazing. James Young. I love it, man. Every time I stream, new people or people that know what we do find us again. Can you reload reviews on the run for Saturday morning? Funny you should ask that. That's all I can say. Listen, I have a lot of interesting conversations. When I'm not playing or streaming or cutting, I'm scheming. And I want to make cool things with people. And it's a different world than it was even 5 years ago. But I do have very, very interesting conversations. That's all I can say right now. But working on stuff. I'm just picking up this rock and walking with it. I forgot that I don't need to do that. Okay. Ooh, there's some bears. Look at this. Giant bears. Okay, so you can huck rocks at bears. They don't like that. Oh. I wonder if I could have crept up and befriended that bear. Okay, let's get some... let's have some pomegranate on the run. That was almost the name of the show. Okay, come on. I got you, bear. I got you, bear. Get out of the way. I got you, bear. Bear. Watch out, bear. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, see? All right. I went from walk-in to Cagney. Ooh, shiny. So, I have an objective that I have to get to, and I think I will. So I don't quite know what all that stuff does yet. We're still early in the game. But there's loot. Loved having a pet bear in Odyssey. Right on, Paul. Pomegranate on the Run would have been a great name. It would have really confused everybody, right? Experienced. Honestly, the Electric Playground confused a lot of people too. That is a name that people at first assumed was either a dance show, because here in Canada we had Electric Circus, or a kids show. And I deliberately didn't want to call the show anything video game related. Not because video games weren't the heart and soul or immensely important to the Electric Playground, but I wanted, even in the mid-90s, to have the show have the opportunity for more and to be something a little bit more all-encompassing, even back then. And I didn't want people to tune out even if they didn't like games. I wanted all the players to dig it, but I didn't want people to go, oh, that's not for me, because the whole sort of reason we created the show was to get people to care about games and to show them how awesome they were. How many of you, this is a question, how many of you, I see we've got a lot of people that have been watching EP for a long time, how many of you were felt like you kind of had your love for gaming validated, or you kind of came to appreciate video games even more because of an interview or some story or something that we did in EP? I would love to hear that. Look at all those emojis. Oh my goodness. So I can't tame a bear yet, but something tells me I will be able to. Whoa! It seems highly unfair, right? Like, who wants to kill cartoon bears? Sorry, buddy. I'm just gonna leave. I wasn't nice. I killed your friend. All right, here we go. Raise his hand. Me. 1,000 to 1,000,000% me. That's awesome. Oh, reviewing Metal Gear Solid GS Manage. That's awesome. We had this is, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but we had I was working on a sponsorship deal with Konami for a season 3 that we didn't quite get together. We were working on a whole strategy and a whole plan, but Konami was there, and this was back in 1998, and they were going to be a partner of EP, focusing on the promotion of Metal Gear Solid. So, this episode of Electric Playground brought to you by Konami's Metal Gear Solid, which you can play on PlayStation, would have been sort of the tagline. but it didn't come together because it was a tremendous amount of work to try to find all the financing and the distribution and all that stuff back then. So I think that's something that people just don't really quite get about, you know, what it was like to be an independent production company, to get this weird show that nobody else was making, and to get actually physically do the work to get it on TV. It was a lot of effort, and it was not easy. And I think in this day and age of YouTube and Twitch and stuff, everybody just thinks, you just put a camera and just go, we just do it. And it's like, that's not the work. The work is having meetings with people that need to be convinced. GS Managed, that was the job, man. That was the job. We never held back. It was definitely honest, straight up opinion based on the individuals that we're reviewing. So that led to some interesting back and forths. The first summer I first saw you on EP was the same time I heard about E3, game reviews as a whole, right before Web Soup, Attack of the Show, and Unbeatable Bansuke. It all validated for me. Oh, that's amazing, James. That's awesome. Oh, man. Wow. Hisham K, thank you. That's an incredible comment. That's amazing. Thank you. EP was 20 years ahead of its time. What's a YouTube?
We're safe here.
I don't know. I think it was created at the right time, right? Like, at least we were there. We were getting all that stuff. We were fully documenting what was going on in the video game world, and what an honor it has been.
This is the Hall of the Gods. Well, where are the others?
Oh, Cosmo Afterlife. Interesting about that. Games were created so we don't have to read. There is a ton of reading in games, and my kid now she's 8, so she is fully a reader. She's obsessed with books, and video games have been a part of that diet. She's read a lot of the dialogue, and you know, there were many times where we'd be playing a game together, and she would. I don't know if I can show any of this. I can't show this. Okay. I'll turn the audio off here. Okay, so. There were tons of games that we were playing together, my daughter and I, and she would want me to read them, and I would say, no, you got this. You know how to say these words. Try to sound it out. Read these things. And now she reads everything, you know, and it's awesome. It's incredible because, like, obviously once you learn to read, the whole world is there. Like, literally, you can see the globe. You can see your future once you learn to read. You can see... You can decipher any puzzle that the world is going to provide for you at that point, and it's a real touchstone moment, you know. And so now she reads her own games and all the details, and she's always reading her books and her comics and all that stuff. And it's amazing, and I'm filled with pride about it, but I'm also filled with a little bit of like wistfulness that the days of me, you know, voicing all the characters and doing all that stuff, it's kind of past, you know. Any parent out there would recognize that.
This is honestly a lot. I wish my brother was here.
Her eyes are open. That's right, John Boko.
I'm the guy who escorted Pandora to Earth for Zeus's sake. But maybe...
I did, Mondo Blasto. That's where I met Tommy on camera for the very first time. I knew who he was because I was reading all the magazines. I used to spend a fortune on the mags. I would get them all, every single one, EGM and Game Players and what the hell? There were so many back then. I still have a bunch of them too. Next Gen was incredibly important. Actually, in the second issue of Next Generation magazine, David Perry, the guy that founded Shiny Entertainment, wrote a letter to the editor, or some kind of an opinion piece or something, talking about how there were no video game shows and you could watch TV about anything, any other pastime or interest, but nothing about video games. And so I got in touch with him, and I think I faxed him a letter saying that, no, wait, listen, the show is coming. It's called The Electric Playground, and it will take you inside, and we're going to visit all the developers. And then Dave faxed me back a letter on Shiny Entertainment letterhead saying fully endorse the idea of Electric Playground, and and we can't wait to have Electric Playground come and visit our studio. And that was in our promo kits that we would go and meet TV companies with. Tommy was, and he doesn't do this now because he's got in television stuff, but he was composing and music for games and creating sound effects. So working in the sound departments, he worked with Dave Perry. Not at he worked on some Shiny games, but he worked with David Perry and a bunch of the Shiny Entertainment people. I don't know what the heck is going on. I haven't been paying any attention at all. Okay. So I need more ambrosia. Is that right? Oh, do I take it? Do I grab it? Okay, upgrade your maximum health by 1 health chunk to increase the amount of damage you can endure. So I can't upgrade. So that's weird. That's a weird menu. Okay. Yeah, Tommy was in the sound world. So he had worked at Virgin and then worked at worked with Shiny and worked with everybody. And he was always in the press because he was probably the most visible composer and sound person in games. And so that's how I knew who he was. And I saw him walking around. Of course, he had a shiny gold jacket and his sunglasses on. And I walked up and introduced myself. And it's on YouTube. We've got it in our archive. Use gathered ingredients to craft potions and improved. Okay, so there's a little bit of cooking. Okay.
Fenix let the empty compliment die in the ensuing silence, and instead tried to focus on potential potion recipes.
All right, so let's see what we can do here. What am I doing? So I can drop this in? Can I craft this? Okay. And can I craft this? No. Okay. Okay. Got some stamina potions. Pointed out a bunch of old magazines. Yeah, I have a bunch of old mags.
Those are a few ideas for ways to stick it to Typhon. You mortals seem to need an incentive.
Oh, Recluse Syndicate, that's awesome.
Accomplishing each. And since I'm the god of merchandise, you can spend it right here on, you guessed it, merchandise.
Ooh, creative.
Or you could always just pay me your own Electrum.
I thought the incentive
Hisham K, that is such a beautiful sentiment, man. And honestly, like, I don't know how intentional it was, but I always felt incredibly privileged to be in this space, and
I'm also the god of thieves.
I think that's kind of what the shows and our content has kind of always projected, has been like a gratefulness, you know. And it's been weird for me to reconcile that a lot of people feel very entitled or very angry, or they're broadcasting you know, maybe something that they're manufacturing that seems to be like, you know, not really what the reality of playing games is. You know, it should be joyous. It should be about fun, and it should be about inclusion.
This is where you train?
But I don't know. Everybody has the right to approach this medium however they'd like to. If you haven't yet, Vic, you should check out Retro Gamer Magazine, UK import. You can order straight from the website or buy digitally. We get physical copies in the US via Barnes & Noble. That's awesome.
I get that a lot.
Wisperience, thank you. That blonde character definitely doesn't look like he should have that accent. He looks a little California surfer dude. Okay, so I guess this is the training hub, right? Like you can upgrade everything. I think that's enough of that. Let's go. Although there is some kind of an icon up there. What does that say? There's nothing we can do here. Okay, yeah, okay. So I need more of them. But it says I have. Oh, I have 4 and I need 6. Got it. Okay, that's very unclear. Okay. let us go. So let's get a quest. What are we going to do? We're going to go... I think I can show all this off. Messenger of the Gods. Some music that you can learn. Don't quite know what it does yet. What's this? Sure. Have I done this? Oh, I completed one of them. Okay. Hall of the Gods, that's where I was. So I think what I need to do is I need to find a high point. And then I can see more of this map. So let's see. Maybe above here, right? Up on that eagle. So you can climb everything, a la Assassin's Creed and Zelda. But you have stamina that you have to deal with. I don't know if I can eat stamina or consume stamina potion. I presume I can as I'm climbing up. Ooh, doesn't really help much though. Okay. Get up there. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Let's see if I climb to the top here, if I can, using all the potion. Okay. Uh-oh. No, don't fall. Okay. It looks like there's an even higher point. Let's see what's going on up here. Nope. I guess it would have told me. Can I... Not the abilities. The map. Where are my quests? Is this one of the quests? What is this? Yes. That's where we want to go. Okay, so we are cruising... 800 and... Oh, right over there to that statue right over there. Okay. Pretty impressive, right? Pretty decent draw distance. I don't know if I'm going to die here. Oh, I probably will. Yes, I will. Okay, so I'm going to let myself fall a bit. And then float a bit. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's a lovely game. It's definitely, like, this is the Ubisoft Quebec team, and they have some real pedigree over there. It's amazing that UB can just drop 3 massive open-world games within weeks of each other. Here's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, here's Watch Dogs Legion, and here's Immortals Fenix Rising. Good night! See you next year! We'll have 6 more open-world things for you. I'm kind of disappointed that this is a copy of recent Assassin's Creed games and nothing more. I don't know. I think it's, you know, it's definitely much more fantasy-fueled. I also dig that it is nothing to do with the Assassin's Creed lore. You know, Assassin's Creed is such a meta experience. I often wonder why UB doesn't just wrap all of their franchises in it. Like Rayman could be a game that somebody's playing on a computer in the future in Assassin's Creed. If they wanted to get that nuts, they could, right? But they... It's so all-consuming, Assassin's Creed, that it's nice when they kind of take a break and try to do something brand new like this. I have to be honest, this title is not doing it for me, man. Immortals Fenix Rising is really hard to remember, and I thought Gods and Monsters just was a cleaner, more appropriate, cooler brand. But I don't know, maybe they ran into trademark stuff. I don't know what happened there. But I can never remember Immortals Fenix Rising. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. I love the look of it, though. It's a good-looking game. You can totally customize your character and stuff, too. It's... looked like you could in the Hall of the Gods, you could do some more customization as well. It runs great on... I've checked this out on Series X as well as on PS5, and it runs great on both platforms. Doesn't necessarily look like, oh my god, I've never seen anything so spectacular next gen, and it's totally a cross-gen experience. I'm very interested to see how the Switch port turns out. Oh, I don't need that. So a lot of physics-based puzzles and stuff like that too. So, you know, quite a bit different, quite a bit more animated than the experience of playing playing an Assassin's Creed game. There's a clinical quality to the combat and the way that you move and the stuff that you do in Assassin's Creed, and this feels much more fantastical and cartoony. Okay. Ooh, we got bears. I wonder if I can go... If I go behind the bear... That's a good-looking game. So, of course, you're watching a 1080p 60 frames per second stream, not the highest resolution. I don't know if... Oh, I don't want to stealth attack. I don't want to kill any more bears. I am friend of the bears. Go! Art style's appealing, right? It is, Doc Forever. I agree. They're so freaking talented at UB, it's ridiculous, you know? I don't know if any of you have been playing Valhalla, but it's crazy beautiful. And Watch Dogs is too. It's not quite as beautiful as Valhalla, but it's really cool looking. Okay. So, climb the statue. Just pretend the bears are pots. I guess we could, right? But, you know, I like bears. Bears are cool. Bears ain't done us any harm. Hey, Vic, what's the most you've spent on a video game, whether it's retro or a collector's edition or something? Ooh, that's a good question. I generally don't spend for the collector's editions that often. I've been privileged enough to be reviewing stuff and have received a lot of collector's editions over the years. But I've purchased like controllers in a fighting game. I think I did that for Soul Calibur. I bought the extended or expanded edition of it came with a map. I think that was the only thing, and they charged you more for that, and extra content for Red Dead Redemption 2, because Red Dead 1 was something that I just adored, and I bought it on the Xbox because I thought that it would just look better and run a bit better on the X. And I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Genesis and Super Nintendo, and spent a hefty amount of coin, $85 for the Jenny cartridge, and $60 or $75 for the Super Nintendo cartridge, which was pretty crazy. What's crazy, of course, when I spend on any of these games is that I've been reviewing them, and I've received so many games to review, so I have this huge collection. So every time I ever buy a game, it's like, should I do this? Because I have so many games. Should I really spend the money on this? But of course, the retro stuff, if there's gaps in my collection there, that's you have to, because I can't really like bug a game company to send me a game from 25 years ago that I want to review. They don't have, even if they have them, they have no interest in me making that content, you know. I got the Spider-Man Collector's Edition. The last one before that, I think, was God of War 3. Was so bummed that everything in it was in codes. Yeah, I love the statues and the toys and the action figures and stuff that they make with games. Got you on iPad and big screen so I can chat. Wow, Rock 101, that's awesome. I got the Spider-Man Collector's Edition. I'm a friend of the Bears. Daniel C. Okay. I need a better way. This is the way. Here we go. Let's try to climb up this and get some mushrooms. Those wings are cool, eh? I want those freaking wings. Very Flash Gordon. Okay. Up we go. Oh, Wisperians, look at you, putting down the challenge and a super chat. You are the best. Thank you so much. Oh, agreed, Jean-Luc Pinsett. I don't regret it. I just, it's like my kid, right? My kid loves Roblox, like a lot of kids. It's a huge game. I don't know if any of you have played it or checked it out or have kids. It's a great way for my kid and her friends to connect, and they play together and they chat the whole time. It's really cute.
Fenix stumbled upon a winged creature.
But she wants me to buy Robux, and what I do is I walk her over to a game shelf and I say, "Look at this! We're not buying Robux. You have every game that you can play. Here's Mario. Play that." We're not spending money on Robux. My friend Josh from Panels to Pixels was saying how the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Collector's Edition was selling for $20 to $30 in the UK. I paid $100 for the deluxe Cuphead vinyl original soundtrack. Didn't even come with the game. Wow, that's awesome. Speaking of Roblox, have you or Ruby heard of Creekcraft? He supported Tommy Tallarico on that lawsuit over that sound. No, I didn't know about that. It's crazy that... okay, so I'm here. Scout the region from Afro... Oh, I've got to scout the region from the statue. Where do I go? There's some ambrosia. Cool. Ooh, there's something epic happening over there. There are, John. Bolt from the blue. Okay, did I actually scout this thing though? I don't think I did I? If I did, then the map should open up a bit. No, I didn't. Do I have to go to the hand? I bet you I do. Okay, let's see. I think this is one of those games... Yeah, I have to get up there. This is one of those games where it's really hard to kind of assess it quickly. You need to spend some real time with this thing.
Its highlights include a massive tree that reaches up to the heavens. The Hall of the Gods. Eros' palace.
Oh, I'm glad he finally got his happy ending.
And a palace belonging to the goddess of beauty herself.
Oh, yeah, Lanceman. I spoiled a bunch of stuff in my chat about it today. The Mando Season 2 is exquisite. It's absolutely incredible. And I feel so...
Such great heights.
I don't know, spoiled that we get that every week. It's just incredible. And it's been so rad to watch it with my daughter, and she was asking me questions about the she was asking me questions about what was going to happen, what's happening here, is that, who's that? And it's like, I don't know. This is all new. This is all brand new. It's like totally cool that it's all new Star Wars like that.
Stop asking.
So that is Zeus and Prometheus having an argument, and they're quite funny. And there is definitely a lot of breaking the fourth wall in their narration and in their dialogue. Okay, so from pain comes beauty. The Valley of Eternal Spring was nestled in the... I guess we're going to go to that. That's the next thing. So you see, this is the icons start popping up, and the missions keep cropping up. You know that the Johnny Silverhand stuff is going to be coming, John Boko. I wouldn't be surprised if we get all kinds of cool Hot Toys merch based around Cyberpunk. Okay, so we got to go this way. Speaking of which, the Hot Toys Miles Morales, oh my god. So freaking good. Uh-oh. I was reading chat. Uh-oh. I'm probably dead. Nope. Fine. A NECA Toys of Johnny available. Right on, John. I love NECA. You also got, you have a run animation. All of it uses your stamina a little bit, of course. And then you can mount creatures and start riding them, which is pretty cool. I guess I could have tried that with the boar. Got some mushrooms. Is that Aphrodite? Oh, there's a tree talking over there. Very God of War-like. Okay, here we go. The controls and the movement feel fluid and fast. Super enjoyable, super engaging. Like you forget that you forget that you have to think about the controls at all. You know, you're just playing it. I'm not feeling any specific DualSense rumbles or unique experiences playing the game, unlike Astrobot. And there's some elements in NBA 2K21, a couple of the other titles, a couple of the other PS5. Enhanced games.
Arboreal state. You're beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say, but the only mirror I gaze into these days reflects the happy smiles of the creatures I help. If only I could travel to those most in need. But alas, my roots keep me anchored here.
So that's why Typhon did this to you. So you can't use your beauty to move ships or inspire bravery in battle against him.
2005 Cool Year says, why weren't you a part of the G4 reunion special? I think what the G4 was trying to do, they own X-Play and Attack of the Show. They didn't own EP or Judgment Day. I own those. And I think what they're really focused on right now is sort of their internal brands and what they're going to do with the shows that they have the trademarks on and the IP on. First. So I get it. And I think they also wanted to show off that Austin Creed / Xavier Woods was going to be a face for the network going forward, which I really applaud. I think he's going to be a great new host.
So I know how to hurt plants. Salt. It shrivels them up.
Oh, would that work? But of course, my roots are not ordinary. They're primal, powerful.
So we'll need mythical.
Why don't you release EP for YouTube? I'm sure you can make some money off them. I have released a bunch of episodes, but I'm also in discussions behind the scenes on how to or where or what to do with the rest of the stuff. But truthfully, and I've talked about this before, people really want the classic stuff, but it takes a ton of time and effort to digitize and archive and label and put thumbnails and, you know, put all of the textual information and the linking. And right now I'm doing all the content alone. That's why I'm streaming so much. So if I focused on just putting up the classic stuff, I would not have any time to cover any of the new things. And I think it's still EP's mission to kind of be topical and current and not only do streams and play the games, but also interview a lot of the people that are crafting all of this stuff. So it's kind of it's
pearl,
gauging
Grand
the resources. But trust me,
I'm
my
not sure
ideal
that's how
vision
that's
and plan is
definitely
to,
the story.
allow
Okay.
people to view all of our stuff.
I'm sure that's how it went.
So stay tuned.
Down.
Got it. Knock
Jordy
a pearl
Games, thank you
into
so
the
much.
ocean really hard.
I
That
love the
sounds
little
simple
animation.
enough.
That's wicked, man. That's so
Thank
cool.
you, Phoenix.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was part of Peacock, a streaming service of NBC. To start a show, get it on a channel related to the content, and do a large number of
this
other
is
things
weird
requires a
that
lot of
I didn't
logistical
meet
challenges.
that
How did you learn to
police.
do all of this?
Aphrodite,
James Young.
sweet and charming.
Well,
mischief.
that's a great
Isn't
big
that
question.
what you were aiming for
We
when you
all.
carried her off to the
Well,
festival
here's
against her
the.
will?
Hey,
We
no,
started
it wasn't.
EP.
I mean, she knew I was doing
There
it
were
for
there was
her
a
own
lot
good.
of like I was a new producer. I had been an actor, so I'd been around some production. And a lot of the people that worked with me on EP, this was the first thing that they were doing on television. But we also hired some experienced people that had produced news and other types of programming. And they, like Aaron Mooney, who was our supervising post producer, he had a 15-year background already when he started with EP. And he was unbelievably important and phenomenal. And then along the way, we kept picking up people that had some experience, and then we offered them tons more experience. We had some people that came out of trades schools where they had learned a lot of broadcasting pieces. And then what happened, we were just a tight group of people all kind of learning together, and we all kind of needed each other to understand different aspects of the work. And I think that there was just this really truly wonderful collaborative spirit inside of our production company to kind of, all hands on deck, figure it all out, and get all of these different pieces together. And there was very little ego about all of it. It was really like, we need to work hard to understand all aspects of this. And so consequently, the whole team learned a lot about how to make television, and then daily television, which is a whole other breed, and the discipline that's required in that. And so, as I was forced in a position of having to let people go because our budgets were, shrinking, everybody's kind of gone off and been able to do some pretty amazing things. And they went with a lot of great training and experience. And we all miss working together. We really do. And when any one of us connects with another one of us, it's always a big chat about how special it was to be able to make this kind of content together, But yeah, it was just paying attention, learning the ins and outs. I got my first hands on on editing software in episode 2 of EP in season 1, so back in 1997. I had never edited anything before, and I learned how to edit in a segment in the show that I was producing, and it was really important for me. And then we all got our hands dirty in a bunch of different ways. It's been cool for me to learn how to work the camera a little bit and shoot some stuff. And I'm not a pro at any of this stuff. I'm terrible at thumbnails. I do my best with the thumbnails, but it's fun to kind of keep learning about all of this stuff. And that was the other thing with our company, is like the compartmentalizing that sometimes happens in larger media organizations or any bureaucracies. That just wasn't going to fly with us. We all had to kind of wear a lot of hats, and it served us well, And I think that came across in the content. It was like, this was not just a host phoning it in from a script. And the camera moves weren't just some robot that had pressed start, like every piece of what we put out there was cared for. Didn't always work. It wasn't always great, but we, as a team, really cared about all aspects of it. And our partners all got that, and our team members all got that. Okay, so we're going to cruise over here. Look at the sunset over here. Beautiful. Of course, the HDR isn't really possible on the stream, but it is a gorgeous game. Vic, do you still wear button-up short sleeve shirts? I do. Not just hoodies. I do all the time. Rock 101. Vic, obligatory VR question. Are you reading, listening to Ready Player 2? We are going to read Ready Player 2. Ruby and I are, after we finish Book 7 of Harry Potter. So that's going to be the next, because we watched the movie together and she really liked the movie, and so we're going to read Ready Player 2. That's the plan. I've heard it's not very good, but I hope that's not true. What's the new S&K deal, Hisham? What happened? What's going on? Benno Heavenora says this looks like what I want for the next Ease game. Whoa, SNK was bought by a Saudi prince. Good God. Nothing ever stands still in this business. Every day there's some wacky new announcement. It's amazing. 25 years of like, what? That's crazy. Obviously a super fan of SNK. I hope everybody is well taken care of, and it only means that more cool SNK games start making it to market. I was a huge fan of the remastered or remade. I remain a huge fan of the new Samurai Showdown that was recently released. Excellent game. I am playing this on PlayStation 5, and I'm going to play for another 7 minutes, and I think we're going to call it at 5 o'clock Pacific time. I'm in Vancouver. I'd love to hear where everybody's from. I always like to see that in the chat. If you guys can let me know where you're watching this from. It's really freaking cool to stream out into the world and to see where it's reaching. It's really awesome. Toronto, Rec 101. I don't know where KW is, Nick S. Orlando, Anthony Warren. I got a bunch of Torontos in here. Peter Kokasar, North American YouTuber. Edmonton, Mondo Blasto's here. We got a lot of family in Edmonton. Florida, Waterloo, Southwest Ontario, Arkansas. Amazing, Kevin Smitty. Massachusetts from Nick O, and Southern California, Zach F. Shirley Castle, Vancouver Island, Comox Valley. It's beautiful over there. Kitchener, Waterloo. Wisperience, thank you. Jean-Luc Pinson is in Newfoundland. I've never been out to the Maritimes. I really want to get out there. A couple from Newfoundland. That's awesome. COVID capital of Canada, Winnipeg. Jorge. Oh, man, I'm sorry. It feels like the COVID capitals keep changing, so you're in good company. Just moved from Thunder Bay to Toronto, almost did Victoria, BC, but the pandemic derailed us for a couple of years while I rebuild my business. James Young. I hear that. Okay, so I'm chopping trees. NB's from Jupiter. I love that we are intergalactic now. Intergalactic electric playground. I love it. Let's see. Let's get over here. What's that? Shiny. Shiny! I got some wispy, whiffly thing. Roll the pearl to the ocean. Is that what my... Okay, here we go. New Jersey! New York isn't doing well with the vid. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's doing well. Let's see. Mars. We got Mars in the house. Oh, I'm friends to the bears. Oh, look at that. I don't want to kill these animals. They're cute as hell. I got a real moral quandary there. Okay, what's up in here? We have some beautiful glowing fruit. Let's get up into those trees. How do I get them? Can I climb up there? Sure can. Get up there. Oh, I'm stuck in the geometry. Come on. Come on, let's get up there. Go. Get up. Get up there. No, I'm stuck. All right. Okay. You're going to make me kill you, boar. I don't want to. All right, you're done. Done. You are pests. Okay. You too. Very Breath of the Wild like. which is fine. Is that ambrosia up there? No. Sparklies. Oh, I'd like to see Raw Thrills make some home releases. That would be amazing. You guys know how I feel about Eugene Jarvis. Mastermind. Sam I Am 111, talk to EA about bringing NBA Jam back. Yes. I really wanted Mark Turmell to... I don't know if you guys have watched the... I did an interview with Mark Turmell, who created NBA Jam last week. Yes, or this week. I think it went up this week. It was awesome having those guys on there. I had John Tobias from Mortal Kombat on, too. And Tim Kitchrow, the voice actor that was... he was the voice of Midway Games. Boom shakalaka! He's on fire! We had those guys, and they were awesome. And then Josh Sway just made a movie called Insert Coin, which is phenomenal, by the way, a documentary. But I really wanted Mark Turmell, who now works at Zynga, to say, well, I work at Zynga, but Zynga bought NBA Jam, and it's coming to all the devices because we know how cool it is. But alas, no. He did talk about the arcade 1-up NBA Jam, which would be great, but I don't know. I mean, if they send me one, I'll make room, but... Currently, no room. Thoughts on the Halo Infinite graphics controversy? I mean, I wasn't blown away by the look of the game. It looked like a lot of fun to me. But I think it's the right move for them to go back to work on it some more and to develop it a little more so that it really blows us away. And honestly, that can be achieved by reframing a new gameplay release, you know, not necessarily trying to pull the wool over our eyes, but maybe picking moments that are a little bit more contextualized to make us feel like we're really playing something in next gen. And I don't think that game really, what we saw of the game really highlighted that. Okay, where are we going? Valley of the Eternal Spring. So there's a lot of just trucking around in this game. It's huge. Okay. Let's get down to this Cyclops. You can see me battle this guy for a second. Just like Breath of the Wild, there's emergent gameplay and... Ooh, almost done. Oh, this guy's tougher than the last one I fought. Right in the armpit. Sorry, buddy. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna shoot something into his eye. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah, I can throw rocks at him. I forgot about that. And he can throw rocks at me. Okay. Oh. Gotcha. Alright. Oh, he moved. Okay, those are effective. Oh, there's some ambrosia up there. Yes? No, what is this? Oh, Olympian figs. Delicious, love figs. Oh! I'll take you. Yeah, you won't mistake this for Sekiro. Or Demon Souls. Uh-oh. Pomegranates on the run. There we go. And... Run! Oh, there's a big rock. Take this. Oh, I have no... stamina! There we go. Now I have some. Here we go. And... Oh! Ouch! Caught that in the face. Gimme this. Gimme this. Oh, what am I doing? Gimme this. Look at that. That's some aim. Ooh, yeah. Oh, he's hurt. Okay, let's see. Let's chuck this right at him. Oh, yes. That was a big hit. Fantastic. Oh! Did I get him? Okay, give me this. Give me. Oh, I have no, Oh. Oh! Ran right into it. Where? I need some rocks. There's some. What? Oh, I didn't know I had a... I held down on the triangle button and I've got my, my awesome mystical deer. That's so cool. Okay, I can get a health upgrade. Okay, cool. I need some rocks. Come here. How come that guy can just grab something out of the ground and I can't? Alright. I just gotta slice and dice. And let's back up. And we are gonna shoot into his eye. Oh, he moved. Oh, there's... Nope, no little pieces. Okay, let's shoot into his eye. Oh! Oh, totally missing him. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oh no, I have no stamina. What's happening? Oh no. Wonder if I can chop this tree on him. No. Oh my goodness. I got him. Wow.
Away with the other Titans, huh?
Okay.
He was afraid they'd
Whew.
overthrow him.
All right.
There was a
That's good.
Board. Grump.
That's a fun game. That is actually really fun. The game certainly looks a little bit familiar for us Zelda fanatics out there, but it's quite fun. I can attest to that. That is Immortals Fenix Rising. That's going to do it for us today and this week, but I'll be back next week. I've got a couple more buyer's guides that I want to hit, and then we start kind of winding up to the Rocket and Ray Gun Awards, and I've been starting to put my head together, my thoughts together on what we're going to do for that. But that is going to do it for our show today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for the super chats today. You guys have been incredibly kind and generous. Thank you to the new subscribers and the new EPN members, and for all of you longtime fanatics out there that have been watching EP forever. You don't know what it means to hear that I've had your support for so long. It's really, really freaking cool. You guys make this a real treat for me. Thank you. Have an awesome weekend. We will see you soon. And until then, play forever.